In this episode of the Musings of an Ikigai Scholar, we'll be discussing Kodomono-hi and Ikigai. May 5th is Tango no Sekku, also known as Kodomo-no-hi. It used to focus on celebrating the growth of boys, but it changed soon after World War II when the day became a Japanese national holiday to celebrate and wish for the well being of all children. When I was in kindergarten, I remember making origami kabuto and koinobori. Kabuto is a warrior's helmet, and koinobori is a carp-shaped streamer. I could not craft them as well as the ones shown in the photo, but I remember proudly showing them to my family. It brings back a fond memory for sure. Are you interested in making the origami pieces with someone? Here are a few YouTube videos providing step-by-step instructions. There's one for koinobori, and the second one is for kabuto. I would like to give you an additional tip for kabuto making. Use newspaper or wrapping paper so you can make a large one and actually wear it for pretend play. For a matching sword, you can loosely roll up a few bunches of newspapers so your pretend Japanese warriors don't get hurt. Koinobori, carp-shaped streamers. Why carp? Carp symbolizes strength, courage, and resilience for Japanese people because they are known for their ability to swim upstream. You may be thinking, then why not salmon? They can also swim upstream. I think the carp became the number one choice due to the symbolism of longevity, a long history of carps being kept and adored in koi ponds throughout Japan. Some studies suggest that the Japanese started to keep ornamental carps in the 8th or 9th century. Here's a side by side look of a salmon and an ornamental carp. That little whiskers looking facial feature is part of the reason why carps are tied to longevity. Looks aside, they actually live longer than our canine and feline friends. On average, carps can live for 25 to 30 years. With good care and environment, they can live to be 70 to 100 years old. One carp recorded in the Guinness Book of Records was called Hanako, and she reached 226 years old. I admire the family who took care of her over 7 generations. Okay, let's bring our attention back to koinobori. The topmost windsock acts as a talisman to repel evil spirits. The design uses 5 colors: blue, red, yellow, white, and black. These colors represent the 5 elements theory, following traditional Chinese philosophy of wuxing. The 5 elements are wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. This reminds us that Japanese tradition is influenced by the ancient philosophies that originated from China. The remaining carp-shaped streamers represent the family. From the top, father, mother, and children. So the full set of streamers is raised into the sky to wish well-being not just for children, but also for the entire family. Today, fewer families are raising koinobori. The main reason is the decreasing number of children growing up in Japan. Back in 1975, there were 27 million children under the age of 15, accounting for 24.3% of the population in Japan. Today, there are only 14 million children representing 11.3% of the population. And this year marks the 50th consecutive year of decline in that number. Let's switch our topic to 5月人形. The 5月人形, a literal translation would be dolls for May, or the fifth month of the year. Like the hina ningyo for my daughters, 5月人形 was given to me by my grandparents when I was born. The whole setup takes on the role of a talisman. It catches and helps neutralize misfortunes that may befall on the child. That would be me. My set has been passed down to my nephew since I do not have any sons. It is typical to see these works of art to become family heirloom and be passed down over multiple generations. These dolls and ornaments carry a certain message in terms of family values. They remind us of who we are and encourage us to communicate how we want our next generation to be. Next up, kashiwa mochi. All sekku comes with a tradition involving certain food or sweets. And for tango no sekku, it is kashiwa mochi. Kashiwa is a type of oak tree native to East Asia, including Japan. Oak trees have the characteristic of keeping their leaves even through the winter, and they fall off when new buds appear in the spring. It is said to be an auspicious tree that brings good luck because it does not drop its leaves until successor is born. And that's why, on this day, we eat mochi wrapped in a cassia leaf. Turning your life legacy into life momentum. I think these Japanese traditions were designed by our ancestors and put in place to remember the past, appreciate the present, and wish for a brighter future. These traditions are there to encourage all of us to get together to create a shared experience, a shared legacy, to fuel our life momentum for the future. These traditions connect more than a few Ikigai concepts to achieve an desired effect. For an example, finding joy in small things. This was according to Ken Mogi. We experience Ikigai-kan in small things, and we learned that we often find those moments in our childhood memories. Hinamatsuri and Kodomono-hi are those moments served by the elders so the children can receive the love in symbolic ways and recall fond memories later in their life. Another concept is the Ikigai need for a bright future, according to Mieko Kamiya. Kamiya teaches us the need for a bright future. Hina ningyo and 5月人形 are meant to be a family heirloom and to be passed on, signifying that there will be a future owner when our daughters, nieces, sons, and nephews continue these rituals, such as displaying and admiring the dolls and eating traditional foods. This is a way to wish for a prosperous future. A few questions before we end this discussion. Which additional Ikigai concepts can be connected and practiced on a day like Kodomono-hi? Do you have a similar tradition in your culture where you can integrate a few Ikigai concepts? Please take a moment to think about them and share your answers. Thank you for listening and viewing this edition of the Musings of an Ikigai Scholar.